Okay, today is very important day. We were discussing about all the things, but now we will see how to escape. About Pali word called Nissarana means escape. Before that, we need to know few other things. That there is Asada, that means pleasure, Adinava, danger, Nissarana, escape, then Samudaya, arising, Attangama, departure or sunset. Actually, Samudaya is more to do with sunrise and Attangamo is sunset. So Buddha explains all of this in different suttas, but basically an adept practitioner is one who sees Asada, Adinava, Nissarana with Udayangama and Attangama, Samudaya and Attangama. Okay, a lot of suttas are there on Sanyukta Nikaya, and then Chachakka Sutta, MN 148, explains the entirety of the six senses. Okay, so that's MN 148, Chachakka Sutta, and there are many other suttas which gives you, or Mahadukka Khanda Sutta. Again, that gives what is dukkha. So if somebody wants to experience what is dukkha, other than the feeling, there's no way anybody can explain what is dukkha without feeling. So you need to know feeling equals dukkha, nothing else. Okay. So you can't explain it saying that, oh, dukkha means my life is dukkha, or having a wife is dukkha, or going to office is dukkha. That looks like a small child not getting a chocolate and saying that, oh, my father did not give me a chocolate, or mother did not give me a chocolate, and hence I'm in dukkha. No, it's a feeling. Okay, so basically, if you are able to cut the feeling at the root, can there be a dukkha? That's all what Buddha Dhamma is. Okay. Now, there are a lot of tradition, so I'll cover that also, so that those people who have a lot of confusion will get to see. Basically, in Sri Lanka, after Ashoka sent his daughter and son, the whole manuscript was in Pali and supposed to be kept in Anuradhapura. Okay. Then Buddha Gosa, who was from somewhere in Andhra Pradesh or Tamil Nadu of India, went over to Sri Lanka to understand the Buddha teaching because he was very much impressed with the Buddha philosophy. But he wanted to go and find out. At that point in time, the only place it was available was in Anuradhapura. So then he wrote commentary. Now there is a confusion that when he wrote the commentary, did he do it by changing the original or whatever it is? So that's a confusion as far as Abhidhamma and as far as this sutta goes, because he has given commentary on Majjhima Nikaya, Sanyukta Nikaya, all Nikayas, you will have it, other than his popular Visuddhimagga, okay? Path of purification. So basically, what you need to know is there is a translation. In the same way, in Burma, because Ashoka sent us two of his emissaries to Burma, and there is a lot of distortion regarding or upgradation, whatever you want to put it as. Those people who believe in that say it got upgraded, and those people who believe that it's it's bad, so they will say it got degraded or distorted. So again, you can see the feeling of sukha and dukkha. But anyway, coming back to the original story, is that they had a lot of changes. And in the fourth Buddhist council and the third Buddhist council onwards, that is after Devayampi or Ashoka, he became Mahasangika. And from that time, there has been a lot of changes in the scriptures. in terms of interpretations. Okay. So after a lot of colonization happened, so the English started to look at these and they started giving commentaries or translation from R.H.Y. Davids to so many people have given them. Doesn't mean that they're wrong, but it doesn't mean it's right also. Okay? So a lot of explanations. So it's not that you can't get to know what it is, but it's difficult. And with the recent mushrooming of monks and so many things, it is becoming more complex because we don't know which school is what and what they are teaching or what they are doing and how they are doing, because every school will say theirs is the purest. So we need to now look at some kind of measurement and see that pure in how much pure is pure, right? So we don't know. So why I'm taking this up is that you can't take anything in that without looking at from the Suttamaya, however you want to hear. Leave that and do the Chintamaya. So your maximum amount of time should be on Chinta to think it over. Don't go by translations. Don't go by what is written there. And in fact, in Kalama Sutta, Buddha says that don't go by tradition, don't go by this, don't go by that. You investigate yourself. Okay. Only when you find that this satisfies correctly with the person who is talking, then you cross check with that person. How do you say this is how it is? Or why do you say this is how it is? And then try it out. And when you try it out, you should get the same answer as what he has got, because it's just a mile marker. If you want to be a Sotapanna, you should interact with a person who is a Sotapanna. But if you have a doubt whether he himself is a Sotapanna or not, then it becomes a complicated story. So you have no idea. Okay. So basically, then in that situation, when you don't know whether the person you're interacting is himself a Sotapanna or not, you have to do it on your own. So the Sutta. Now, when you want to do yourself on your own, DIY, do it yourself, how should you do it? And that's what is my today's topic. This is for those people who have no faith in anyone at all, including themselves. And how do we do it? So you need to know these 5 things and plus 7, which I'm going to be talking about a little while later. The first 5 things are, you should be able to discern the Udaya arising. Samudaya, Sama means equal. It's equally co-arising, just like sunrise. It doesn't categorize, or should I keep this place dark or that place bright. When sun comes, everything is lighted. The darkness goes away, irrespective of where it is shining. Attangama, the sunset or the sets. So anything that arises will perish. That's what the nature, law of nature, not law of Buddha, law of nature. Anything that arises in this world will go away, will perish. That means if something is created, that will go through perish. Okay? You can't stop it. From a vegetable to a fruit to whatever you see, it's all like that. It arises and ceases. Okay. Udayangama, Attangama. In between these two ends, is 3 things: Asada, Adinava, Nissarana. in these two things. Asada is relishing, flavoring. Swada is to flavor. Aswada means completely flavored up. You can enjoy that. What a thing, right? So that one. Adinava is the danger. Because if you are associated on this, very soon the Attangama is going to happen. You can't enjoy. Like, I go to a in few weeks or months time, I'm in Sunshine Coast. It's supposed to be pretty good. Let's say we are enjoying the beach or went to San Francisco and had a beach, or even in Goa or wherever it is, then see the sunrise from the beach. In fact, in Darjeeling, there's a spot called as Tiger Hill. You can go there, you can watch the sunrise. It's beautiful because you're on top and then the sun comes from down. But remember, if you're an Aswad, in just 5 to 7 minutes or maximum 10 minutes, the sun is on the top. So there are thousands of people waiting for the opportunity to the sun to arise so that the Kanchenjunga mountains and Everest, little bit of Everest, is seen. K3 and K1. K1 is Everest, K2 is K2 in Pakistan, K3 is Kanchenjunga. So these three big mountains, 8,000ers, you can see it from that place. And it's a madness to go. You stand there, it's thousands of people rushing in front. You have no idea, it's an empty space, and they have put a barricade so that people don't fall off the cliff. So just go there, stand. But how minutes? How many minutes? Hardly 5 to 10 minutes. For that, you book a flight ticket from Bangalore to Bagdogra, and from Bagdogra take a cab or bus or whatever to Darjeeling, and from Darjeeling you go to Tiger Hill, and on that day by chance it is cloudy, the sun will say bye bye. What do? Wish that it doesn't happen, that's all. But if it happens, and people go from there to Gangtok to see the same sun in a different place. But then the question comes, you didn't see Tiger Hill, so where will you go? You have to stay back one more day. So what happens to your stay in Gangtok? Gets reduced. They ultimately have to cancel the entire tour. That's danger. Adina. So pleasure seeking is good, but it has danger. Okay? So we can see in everything. Sight, good, but it is danger. Of what? It teases. That's a danger. Nothing else is a danger. It just perishes. So one who can see this sunrise sunset phenomena, and in between the asa, the adinava, the pleasure seeking and the adinava, like the danger, can understand it's not worth it. Like, been to Las Vegas many times. I think Amar has also gone and Harry has also gone. I don't know how many people have gone to Las Vegas. If you're staying in that place, you feel charged up. But for how long? Guess it. a day max, and with all distractions. And the second day seems boring. You have to have some other entertainment. The same entertainment is not going to work. So what do? From one um, gambling place, you jump to another hotel, just having the same gambling. You get bored. You get bored of food. You get bored of sex. You get bored of drinks. What else can you do? Drugs. And what else can you do? There's nothing else. It's done. So if we call aswada, you can have the following flavors: eat and drink, the first thing, do sex, breathe drugs. What else can you do? Is there any other thing? And all the entertainment are towards what? To flavorize these three things, basically. Now, what is drugs here? When I go to entertainment, parlor or mall, it hooks you up. That's you get drugged. So any kind of shopping, it's called shopaholic because it makes you an addict. Same thing with work, workaholic. The reason being that you don't know what to do next. You want more challenges and you keep on working. Somebody keeps on drinking, somebody keeps on smoking, somebody keeps on going to different kind of areas which are very hard to explain here, but you know what I'm trying to mean. From Amsterdam to everywhere, the only market which is the most, what we can say, ancient is prostitution. That's the oldest profession on earth. Why? Because that's swada, aswada. That's the highest pleasure. If not, there wouldn't be anything like that. So the highest form of enjoyment is sexual enjoyment. There's no other replacement for that. Because the body wanting. So mind and body wanting, yeah, music, performance, concert, all of that is part of each one of the senses, but the highest of the senses is that one. In the end, Abhi, it turns out to be that. How does sex compare to drug? You can talk, Harry. I don't know why you all started typing it out. Unless I've told you, don't talk. If you want your message.
Didn't want to cut you off from the flow because sometimes you're in flow or sequence.
Yeah, sure. Drugs and sex. Sex requires a lot of time. Drug doesn't require much time. It takes you more high. So if you take a rating, grading, drugs, alcohol, sex. The highest is drug, second highest is alcohol, the third highest is sex. Because here you need to convince the partner. Whereas in drug, you don't have to convince anyone. You have to just convince yourself to get drugged. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, because I remember in AN, the beginning of AN, Buddha said the highest is the sight of sex, sound of sex, and all that. But why? How come that drugs does it equal to that or get even higher? How does it
At
work?
that point in time, people didn't have any other entertainment except for sexual enjoyment. So he said that it's all dependent on that time frames. Right now, today we have LSD. If we had developed LSD then, maybe Buddha would have told something else. Or you have ayahuasca. So they go to Peru to enjoy ayahuasca, and they want to go to this realm and that realm and get drugged, right? So then, but unfortunately, people had not found all of these chemicals at that point in time. So whatever was available at that point in time, sex was the only thing. Even today, sex is the only thing. You go to Amsterdam or in Germany or anywhere, you will find across streets. Yes.
Although I also remember you said sex is special because it excites all the six senses.
Yes, even now, today, yes. But then it requires a lot of convincing. So there is a danger.
But drug, does it only excites the mind and sight and all that? How does it work?
That's sufficient, right? It'll see, the thing today on sex is people can record it and then they can then do what? They can extort, right? In drugs, you don't have, so you have to look it from today's perspective. Don't go into the remote past and say, Buddha said this. Yes, at that time they didn't have anything else. Many monks who got caught up in Vinaya, if you read, it looks like you are reading something like pornography. Right? How many monks are caught? On a daily basis, he creates one rule. Right? That was the only thing. That was only entertainment. Today we have more entertainment than that. So that doesn't mean the sex urge has come down. People have become smart that, oh, I need to do a lot of things to get her. Rather, I can get much easier something else. Otherwise, how many entertainment channels we have today, which we didn't have during the Buddha day? We didn't even have a technology to develop that. So at that point in time, whatever was the highest, he has said that.
So yeah, even today, most of the monks, right, who disrobe is because of the sex.
Yes, exactly.
And even like such a there are so many monks which are following Vinaya very diligently. That's something they could not overcome, and they disrobe. Yeah, most of the cases are disrobing is.
Yes.
Because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Aryu, to explain back to you is that first you have drug. When you are drugged, you don't know what you're doing. It tends towards alcohol and ultimately ends up in bed. And that's the last thing. So, whichever gradation you give, I'm talking from today's point of view, but sex overrules everything. Okay. So, money, sex, alcohol, drugs, or vices. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess sex is the most, let's say, primordial, so it's always going to be there as the strongest. But I guess it's not relatively lower to drugs. So if you get drugs, you don't want sex.
I just gave a comparison. If you're finding it tough to accept it, keep everything equal. But don't struggle in your mind that, oh, I don't think so, I think so. That's just for illustration. If you're uncomfortable, change it to all as equal priority. It's fine. Or if you think drugs are not really that important, only sex is important, keep that. I have no problems. But you should get what is aswada.
I guess people would want both anyways.
People want all. What do you mean? There are, otherwise you think there are no discotheque? There are. And you know what they do in a discotheque. To jump around there, you need to have drugged or alcohol. You can't be doing, you can't be enjoying dancing without any one of that, right? So you require a girl, basically. So you require sex, alcohol, and drugs. Simple. If you're hitting on the dance floor, you're going to have all of that. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, look, even in the Christian community, this is one of the biggest problem. And this is, I mean, drugs and all this, like you can fix by restraint also. This sex is the one thing. It's very hard to by restraining, right? That's why Buddha's teaching of Sila Samadhi Panya only work, right? I think this is one thing Buddha understood very deeply, in my opinion.
No, even then he spoke about drugs. When did he speak about drug? He says, Sura Meraya Majja Pamadattana. So Sura is alcohol. Majja is drug. Mereya is getting intoxicated. Sura Mereya is the drug. Majja is intoxication. So any kind of intoxication which changes your psyche is problem. So there on the third precept, he talks about abrahmacharya or kameshu michachara. So for a householder, it is kameshu michachara. For a monk, it is abrahmacharya. Right? So it doesn't mean that, oh, Buddha didn't know about drugs. There's a second one is drug. Mereya.
No, but if you look at the drugs and this doesn't come in the 10 akusala, right? If you look at
it doesn't come under 10 akusala.
Exactly.
Yes,
yeah. Right.
because of the reason that a little bit of intoxication is going to be there irrespective of what you do. Even jhana is intoxicating. So if you put everything under the sun, and then it becomes a problem. So intoxication is part of life. But what you get intoxicated is the question. So aswada is going to be there. So don't deny swada. There is, but there's a danger. So you need to look from the danger lens point, not from the swada sense point. So don't go to extremes. What I mean to say is, you can fly business class, you can fly economy class, but some idiot will say, I will walk. Because Buddha told us to walk. That's stupidity. Because there is swada, but look at the danger that you're going to enjoy for 1 hour or maximum 2 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, as much the flight is, so long you're going to enjoy that. After a flight, gone. No matter how much you paid for it, that service is gone. So that's what you have to see. The sunrise and sunset. That's exactly what you need to see. And the three things are in between that. Asada, Adinava, Nissarana. So we are going to talk about Nissarana while later. How do you come out of it? But present, you need to know. Don't take it literal sense. Oh, drugs. Oh, no, I am not. You might not be drugging yourself, but there are people who drug themselves. So you can't say, since I don't do it, I don't, that will not work. It's general, right? The degree at which it is done might differ. If that were not there, today you will not have so many different kinds of entertainment. You will see from that perspective. Take a holistic view. Don't take an individual view and put it on you. I am not doing it. We are not here to certify whether you do it or you don't do it. We are here to understand the Dhamma, not about a person. Right? Okay. Yeah, Abhi, go ahead.
First of all, brief perspective from what Ari was saying, that my understanding is like if there are all these four options like drug, alcohol, sex, and money, it really usually depends on what is lacking more in me. Usually,
exactly.
I will naturally gravitate towards that. So, for example, somebody has a partner, and sex is not a problem in their life. At that time, whatever is low, it's like the jars, like the parmi jars. If I have 4, whichever is lower, the mind will naturally attract. I don't have. So in that way, the observation is, it's not me doing it, just automatic in a way. And but my other question, curiosity in this case, was what I observe now very commonly in this current context is because people are very infatuated with Buddha Dhamma. When I say infatuated, I consciously mean in terms of without understanding, we have a lot of understanding, which is not necessarily clear understanding, but we have created understanding. And I have seen personally, and I have also been in that path where we cut off a lot of these pleasures from our life, many of these things. Oh, this is nice. And at some point, there is so much depletion of the baseline, because to sustain this body, we need some healthy, sustaining, whatever kind of pleasure that most people have, like what you were talking about. Even in jhana, there is pleasure. So the senses get so much depleted of dopamine levels, then that goes below a certain level, a baseline goes below a baseline, then we start having addictive patterns, because we are not gaining pleasures from day-to-day basic small things that, having, for example, a family or right livelihood or having contribution in the society, those kind of things, which there is nothing bad, but something somebody reads and then they analyze in a different way and then goes to another extreme. One example would be, there is a test done, I don't remember which year, a mouse in their brain circuitry where they received dopamine, that circuit was cut off, so it cannot receive dopamine. So to it, food was given. One of the food was given in front of its mouth. It would eat. And to another one, food was given few inches away. So it had to walk few steps and then eat. But it wouldn't eat. It just don't have the drive because the dopamine levels are so low that it's the extreme of depression, where what is the point? So somehow some people think, oh, this is some level of wisdom understanding, what is the point? But at some level of depletion, it's not really their wisdom talking, it's just their body hormones and mechanisms are so low, they don't have any drive, and they're getting into the other extreme where they're misunderstanding both of them. So what is your perspective on maintaining a healthy level of drive for life? Otherwise, if I think, oh, what's the point in life, because everything is dukkha anyways, it's a very slippery slope, I find, and a lot of people are walking on the edge. I see it very commonly.
No, that's why the reason the first sermon, Dhamma Chakka Pavattana Sutta, first one. And there he says, Dve me ubho ante. It means people go to two extremes. And that's when the dukkha starts. Okay. One is Kama Sukhalokana Yoga, meaning it turns towards annihilation. In the end, the person feels, if I were to keep on enjoying the senses, a day will come, I will throw it out. Example, Osho. His philosophy is do the extreme. Ultimately, you puke out. That's one extreme. Second extreme is Attakila Matanu Yoga. You torture yourself so much, you get deprived. One is dopamine insensitivity, another one is dopamine deprivation. It's wrong. And Buddha says don't do both of them. And 99.999999999999997 people who are so-called Buddhists are Jains. Because they torture. By coming to Buddha Dhamma, they do three things. One, everything is dukkha. So what? I will not do. Want to go to office? No. Dukkha. You want to eat? No, dukkha. What do you want to do? Retreats. Beautiful. Isn't that dukkha? Yes. To kill dukkha, you have to take dukkha. Wow. Wow, what a story. Remove the pain with the pain. What a strange paradox. But they struggle. Why? It's the second extreme. Attakila Matanu Yoga. And dukkho, anariyo, anatta samhita. The very act of that gives you dukkha. But they feel, if I take more dukkha, time will come when it goes away. No, you're depriving so much. You land up in a problem rather than getting what you wanted. How? 4 chemicals. First chemical to erode out is endorphins. So you start craving for pain. And the word used to crave for that pain is aditthana. So you determine and say that I'm going to sit here for 5 hours. Because you want to prove yourself that you are going to get dopamine out of it, reward out of it. And when you say to someone, or when I say to someone, I sat for 5 hours, that other person say, wow, 5 hours you can sit. I can't sit even for 5 minutes. Feel, the dopamine is coming. No, I'm depriving endorphins. period. Then the next chemical which get distorted is serotonin. Serotonin is required for feeling secure. You become more insecure by doing the very act of sitting for 5 hours. What if somebody is sitting for 7 hours? Your 5 hours is of no use. What if somebody says that I sit for whole day? Sit for whole day? I can only sit for 5 hours. Come on. I can sit for 12 hours. Don't tell me, yeah, come and sit with me. 12 hours I'm on the cushion. Then only you'll get it. 7 more hours to go. I don't know whether in this life I'll be able to do it or not. I will put effort, enjoy. You will liquidated of endorphins. Now you are liquidated of serotonin. The last chemical which could have taken care of you is oxytocin, which will give you a social connect, and you're cut off from social. So now you are basically lonely and in deep depression because nothing you're getting out of it. So now only solace is keep on jumping between retreats. Keep on booking retreats and booking retreat and booking retreat, and that's it. Okay, wait. The last one, dopamine, completely gone. So you lose hope and becomes pretentious. He's not really living a good life. He's just pretentious life. Very soon, thoughts of suicide will start to come. Because he would feel or she would feel, I have reached a stage, and Godika Sutta in particular, where Godika cut off his wrist because he could not attain the jhanas completely. So he got disturbed and he said, let me cut off the wrist, and then he died. And Mara came and spoke to Buddha saying that, you know what, your Godika is cut off his wrist. And Buddha said, no, he's an arhat, go and find if you want. And he goes in search of Vijnana and he couldn't find it. So they would think, just like Godika did, I can also do it. I can jump off a cliff, I can jump off a building, I can cut my wrist, or I can shoot myself, I can do this, I can do that. The most dangerous thing of misunderstanding Buddha Dhamma is you will go into depression. Worst ever depression you can ever think of. That from where coming back is out of question. Not possible. Because you're gone so to the other extreme. It's impossible to get back because you require endorphins to come back. It's no longer there. Brain is not secreting endorphins. Brain is not secreting serotonin. Brain is not secreting oxytocin. And without these three, there's no point in having dopamine. So you're having dopamine deficiency completely. It means you're given up life. There's no point in living. Okay? This is the day. Hold on for a second, Aryu. Let me finish. Otherwise, I can't puke out. Let me finish my puking. Then I'll give you a chance. So basically, you hold on to your question. Okay? So basically, when you come on the Buddha Dhamma, you have to know the two extremes, two end and the middle. Dve me bhikkave ante pabbajikena nanasevi tabba. Don't indulge in these two. One taking into annihilation route and one taking into sasattavada route. One is annihilation and one is you will exist. Because when you do this, you'll get something, and that person goes mad, thinking that he's going to get something in return, not realizing that he doesn't get anything out of it. Nothing. He's deprived completely. It's like somebody going pauper or broke. Completely.
Like Islam.
Yes, exactly. You go broke. now you have no sense of what to be done. So Buddha Dhamma is not for someone who just happens to get there and see, you know what, now I'm on Dhamma. No. The person has not understood the nature. The nature is nature. It's not Buddha nature. It's the nature of anything. And in the nature, if there is an arising, there is passing away, whether you're a Buddhist, non-Buddhist, you're this, you're that, whatever, doesn't matter. It's simple. If you have arrived on this planet, you're going to die. No, do whatever you want. It's not going to do anything to you. In between, there is fun, aswada. There is pain, adinava. There is an escape, nissarana. You can escape. Anyone can escape. It's not only Buddhists can escape. No, that's another kind of kama sukhalakana yoga. Instead of that, it is the kila matanu yoga. And you feel, I am a Buddhist. I have what? You are increasing your dopamine content just by feeling you're a Buddhist. That's it. But it's not going to work. Because your endorphins are anyway gone. So you keep on saying, I'm a Buddhist is not going to give you any kind of dopamine. It's proper understanding which takes you out of the misery, not misunderstanding, and because adding more pain is going to do anything good. And most of the people I've seen personally, they misunderstand, they put pain. They think by adding pain, they're going to come out of pain. Not true. It's the other way around. Because Nibbānam Paramam Sukham, it's not Nibbānam Paramam Dukkham. If somebody thinks that I will put more pain so that I get Sukha, it's gone mad. And that's what happens when you're depressed, because if the dopamine level comes down, you get into depression. And that experiment was done by the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama has a foundation. So there are a lot of physicists who are part of that foundation. And I used to follow the Dalai Lama from 2000 onwards. In US, there are a lot of tests done on mice, and especially on dopamine, there are a lot of tests. Okay, and one mice, what you rightly said, they give it more pain to seek for that pleasure. Surprisingly, that mice doesn't take food at all. That clearly shows that if dopamine goes down, you lose life. And the people don't understand that you are alive because of dopamine. There should be some reward. If you cut out the reward system itself by your misunderstanding, and there's no use. When I sit in a retreat and if I ask someone, how do I become Sotapanna? And if that guy says, no, you shouldn't think about it, then why am I here? Why? Is Buddha a mad person to say you should not know Sotapanna? Or if that person says, in this life you'll not become a Sotapanna, then what I should do? You cut off my dopamine. I need a reward. I'm taking this pain because of that reward, and you're saying there's no reward at the end of it, and why would I do it in the first place? That's a misunderstanding. So that becomes Attakila Matana Yoga. Dukkho Anariyo Anattasam. There is a reward. Reward is you will skip tapayas. Now you are literally working towards it. And you will never be deprived in life, the next life, as a Sotapanna, whether in Deva realm or in human realm. You will get exactly what you want. That makes sense. That makes tremendous sense to me, because I got back my dopamine. I got back my serotonin. I got my oxytocin. Now I'll have sufficient amount of endorphins. And there are many other chemicals. I am working for Anandamidi. That chemical, that ultimate chemical which I want is Anandamidi. So the brain will produce it. It's not a person is going to produce that. So if I create a good condition for Anandamidi to get delivered into the brain, into the bloodstream, then I feel blissful. Come on, you can't say that there's no bliss in this. What a crazy idea you give me. There is bliss. No, you should not worry about bliss. Boss, whether I worry or I don't worry, it's my problem. Is there a bliss or not? Just shut up and give it to me. Don't give me stories. I'm here to get this. Whether you give or you don't give is up to you. That's how it should be. And now I can see, yes, it is there. Can I drop sensuality? Yes. Why? Because jhana gives me this in multiplication, it's multiplier. Can I not drop sensuality? Yes, I will drop. It's automatic because the default mode network of the brain is skipped or bypassed, and I'm creating new neural pathways, so it will work. What are you trying to say to me? That you can't do it? Stupid guy, you don't know how to teach me. Because you don't know yourself. If I can bypass the networks, I can create my own pathway. And that's exactly what we want to do. We don't want the default network to be there because that is conditioned network. Can I go higher networks? Yes, I can do that. Tell me how. Do this following. Fine. Can I see that result? Yes, you can see the result. Now when I get into the first jhana and second jhana and third jhana and all that, I know, yeah, this is of no use. I can see it. The addiction is gone. Addiction to drugs, sex, alcohol, all of that, entertainment, everything is automatic. Even YouTube videos I don't like to watch. Why? Doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not forcing it. The network itself is cut. So the synapses no longer connect. So I have made the neurons to fire in a different place. That is exactly what LSD and marijuana and brown sugar or ayahuasca, whatever is going to give me. And I can do it without getting drugged. Then that's the amazing thing. Now my serotonin is high. Why? I feel secure. I don't require any person to be secure. I am secure. Oxytocin is at the highest. I feel socially acceptable. Which social? Whoever is on this path. Do I have to take pains? No, because endorphins is masking out the pain. There's no pain. And the dopamine is at the highest. Great thing I did. And when these four are balanced, you get Anandamidi. That's exactly what I wanted. I got it. Enjoy. Whether it's airports or seaport or roads or driving or whatever, blissed out. I don't require anyone to get blissed out. I have learned how to do it. Now I am a true follower of Buddha because I got exactly what Buddha says. To let go of sensuality, you require jhanas. I come into jhana, the sensuality automatically goes away. To get into the ultimate nibbana, you have to let go of jhana. First I am standing on jhana to let go of jhana. Now I see as the ultimate peace. And when I achieve that, I know I have achieved it. I don't require any certification from any authority to say that, did you achieve, didn't you achieve? Now I've seen the deathless, so I know what dies. So I'm out of fear. So the serotonin is completely high because now there's no fear of death. The fear gone. Do you require security? Social security? SSN? No. Bullshit. Who requires that? Do you require endorphins now? You are an endorphin. You can take any amount of pain now. The world pain you can take because it's unreal. So are you now dependent on dopamine? No, no longer required. So you have cut off the entire mode of networks. And it's done. Job well done. Pat on your back and move forward. And that's it. Hope I answered your question.
I like to think of it as in my analogy. How I like to think of it as before in the railway we had coal. They're putting coal in the engine. There is smoke, and okay, it's after some time we realize it's not the most effective way, and then eventually we move to diesel, and from diesel then now we move to electric, and at some point now we're moving to solar panels where it's clean energy. So it's a form which is more pure, more effective,
Exactly.
and is less, and then this makes more sense. And once we switch, if I'm using solar power, it just does not make sense to go back to using coal. You have to dig the earth and slavery and this and that. It becomes common sense. But when I don't have solar power or I don't have electric power, to say that, oh, I don't have that, so I'm not going to do it. No, we still have to do. Like the train needs to move. Our life is going to move anyway. So we have to use what we can in the moment. And when we can have a better source, then we move to a better source. I find that's a healthy way to keep moving. Otherwise, we get stuck, and then we get into our head, and then it's a downward spiral.
Yes. So good analogy. That's how we need to do. Drop one to get the other. Drop that to get the other. Drop that to get the other. That's exactly what Buddha talks about. Niramisa Sukha. Niramisa Sutta. If somebody understands it properly, they can know that you require sensuality first. Then you have to find the problem with sensuality and drop that sensuality to go to the higher, which is Niramisa. Then you drop that and get into the third one, which is Niramisa Itara Sukha, without Raga, Dvesha, Moha. And then you're done. So in that way, you're balanced out the brain chemicals. So you don't have any worrying factor at all. Yes, Harry, now it's all your turn.
Thank you. Now it's just a question. Because previously when I heard you about these people who go retreat after retreat, I thought there's addiction, and you used the word it's addictive. So I thought they're getting pleasure most of the time from it, hence they're so addictive. But today you're saying many of them are not getting anything, so why are they so addicted then? Are you saying the majority of them are not getting sukha and they just somehow like that?
The best person who can answer to that is Amar. It's like this. Before he answers, I will tell you, if you go to the first retreat, you will not get anything. So there is a dopamine deprivement. So you think if you go to the second retreat, you will get it. And you do the second one and you don't get a complete one in the second. So you think if I do the third one, I'll do that. And then you'll feel that is going to happen. It doesn't happen. Then they say you do the seva or the service and then it'll help you. Then you do that and nothing happens. Then they say that since this has not happened, you do Satipatthana and then you do that as well for 7 days and you didn't find anything worth it. And then you again do the 20 days and then do a couple of 10 days more and then 30 days and then some of the 20 days and 10 days and then you do the 45 days like that. You got
but they're getting partially from it, right? Otherwise, why would they?
You are deprived. If you got the first time, you will not do it again because you're satiated. See, Aryu, whatever it is, you should get satiated. That's Nibbana.
But there must be some people who get a good experience, hence they want to go back, right? There are people like that. So Maybe it's a
If
small
you
percentage.
get all that, what is there in that retreat, you will not go anywhere because you got what you wanted.
But you said the condition was there for them to experience that pleasure, but when they're out of it, they lose it. Hence, they want to go
Why?
back.
Because they
That's all.
couldn't know how to get it again. So they think only by going there they'll get it. So it
Right.
becomes,
For this group of people, they're going back for the pleasure, not for because they're deprived. Then.
what pleasure? What pleasure? They feel by going there they will become this or that. That will not happen. So what happens? They get into negative. But they're
So
hopeful.
the majority of the people are like that. A lot of the
No, it's like this. Either you go Kama Sukha or you go Kilamata. You have to see the holistic ones from the retreat itself. I go to a retreat, there's something called free flow, and I get addicted to free flow. I'm going on Kama Sukha. What would I do? I'll go to the second retreat, and the third retreat, and the 10th retreat, and the 50th retreat, and I get law of diminishing returns. The more I go, the lesser I get. I don't know what else to be done. This is one extreme. Take the other extreme. They treat everything as dukkha, right? So they will give up all their things and they think only closing eyes and sitting there is the only way to realization. They get into Kila Mata Anuyoga. In everything we do that. I'm not blaming any retreats or anyone. In everything we do that. That's the reason I'm telling you, we are Jain followers more than Buddhist. Especially if we come to the Kila Mata Anuyoga. The more pain you inflict upon you, the better it is.
Well,
Wait,
not to forget, a lot of people.
Yes, go ahead, sorry.
I'm saying I've seen a lot of this firsthand because spend a lot of time. So you've kind of given my story a little bit there, and I've stayed close. So a lot of them, what happens is after a point of that cycle, because you're sacrificed, you're telling other people, look, wait, don't bother me. I'm going to get something, a big reward. You go to job, you have a small reward. I'm here for a big reward. So they're telling their society, friends, family, whatsoever, that they're very invested. It's like investing in some stock bond that you really believe, whereas other people are not sure about it. Because you have sold that story for such a long time, you have created your own story. And I know this to be true from a lot of teachers, even in the Goenkaji tradition, to be true, that they are now saying that I'm struggling. And some teachers I've spoken to, they have told me they're going for therapy, like they're seeking therapy from mental health professionals, but they cannot tell the students, and they have bought into that investment bond, and now they are stuck because they have, some people have become, I'm saying the other extreme where they've gone to become a teacher, but that's a whole spectrum. So once they're a teacher, their whole identity, their biggest identity is a Vipassana teacher. They might have a job or business, but in terms of higher socio value, prestige, that is the highest identity, that I am a teacher. And all of a sudden, if you've done that like 20 days, 30 days, 10 years of practice, and now you have become a teacher, and they want to say, you know what, I think it's not worth it. It's not working for me. How many people can do that? They can't do it. And to then go back is very difficult. And a lot of people I know in India especially are in that situation, because in society, if you go back and say, no, it didn't work, I left it, it's not good. Whereas in other countries in Europe, if you did it, nobody kind of cares as much. But that is a loop, that self-fulfilling prophecy. After some point that I've invested so much time for what? And so there is always hope that something will happen. It's the same I find in the brain, the psyche, that in Islam happens, that they are so, I listen to people in Pakistan interviewing that how they justify. Obviously, they're not fair comparison, but I feel similar part of the brain works because I'm so invested. The mind is biased to really believe and not to see where it's not working. And I feel in this path, we should always be present and truthful where it's not working, why not working, and then that will bring us back to the Dhamma again. But if you're not seeing and blindly following, then we go off track, and then
Yes,
we're in the
exactly.
Inspector.
Exactly. What Abhi is saying is perfectly right. I've seen people, and I've seen many depressed people than sane people, because it'll push you towards that. You will get it one day. And which one day? It's a losing battle. It's never going to happen.
I
Right?
thought I think you said Amar is the expert here.
What's that?
I
No,
thought
no, I'm not expert. I've only taken a few.
We'll take Amar's.
Yeah. So no, there's another aspect also. It has become a club, right? So basically, for like anyone to move your life, you have to have some club or some association, right? So what happens is most of the people have made that as a club, and the basically like for them, Dhamma is Goenka is Dhamma, and some people even treat Goenka as a bodhisattva or Buddha also. I've seen people doing
Yes,
that, right?
absolutely.
And who doesn't have who doesn't have like studied any of the Buddha's teaching? That's the problem. They have not. They even they we had to ask him what like Namo Tassa Bhagavata, or they have no idea what that is, right? So, but what they have is, so what happens is in life now, definitely they cannot like survive in the life that they used to have, like all kinds of social interaction. That's gone from their life. Now they have to have another part of the life. That's why they're there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So basically, the moral of the story here is take two things: sunrise, sunset. Samudaya, Attangama. Buddha Dhamma is purely logical reasoning, no choice, no chance for imagination. If there is something that is arising, it's going to end up in ceasing. That's it. In between that, you get some pleasure, call it as aswada. Then you get adhinava. There's a danger of seeking that pleasure because it is between these two extremes, sunrise and sunset. It's going to go away. You're going to lose it. And now you can sit down, reflect upon escape. And that is the middle. That's the golden middle. Okay. If we don't get that, adhinava, that is the danger, you can't find the middle. No matter what you do. I might be a Buddhist. Even I might teach people what is Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Pali, good knowledge, and I can write books and it's published. I'm a best person on Buddha dispensation studies and all that. Done my PhD in Buddhism. Damn it, I have no idea what it is. It's a waste. Because I have not myself seen the middle. What middle will I speak about? If a person has seen the middle, he knows where the middle is. Otherwise, he's imagining a middle which doesn't even exist for him. Got it? So the first thing we need to know about escape, from today we're starting on escape, is to know these 5 things. Samudaya, Asada, Adhinava, Nissarana, Attangama. In Vedana, feeling. Those people who don't believe me can refer to MN 148, Chachakka Sutta, and there are many other suttas of the same, or in Samyukta Nikaya, you can find about Asada, Adhinava, Nissarana. There is Mahadukka Khanda Sutta. So these are the suttas where you can get the hang of what I'm saying. Okay? Yes, Aryu?
Yeah, I was thinking Shinio is not here, so it's maybe I don't want to misrepresent him, but I feel like he also go to the retreat every year at his home. But he seemed to do it in the very middle way, where he practiced very well and used that retreat as a time to deepen his practice, while other time he maintained that balance between the lively practice and this retreat. So he's maybe one of the rare people who can do it right, but it's
Yeah.
not easy.
It's not easy. Yeah, you will get locked into it. You'll get locked. So, think we are on the right path. How do you know you're not locked? Your mind should expand rather than contract. If you're contracting, it means you become cultish. It means you're locked. Now you'll not be able to see anything at all. You're blinded. And you believe whatever you're doing that's all what it is. Yep. Let's take some few examples. Should we serve the monks? And the answer is, you should serve everyone, including the monks. What should you do with monks? You should know that they're also in search, like you. They're also wanting to come out of suffering. They have done much better by giving up their lay life. So you need to give them more respect because they've given up lay life. Second answer. Third answer. Should I check the monks of their knowledge? Absolutely required. You shouldn't take either a lay or a recluse at face value. You should investigate, check their knowledge before doing anything. I'm not saying you shouldn't respect them. You respect every human being, because to become a human is a rarity. So you respect every human being. But should you blindly follow someone just because he's so and so? No. Absolutely wrong. What has he done to you? You have to question yourself. What has he done to you? If he has not done anything to you, that means he's not your spiritual friend. If he's not a spiritual friend, then you don't have to be very back, holding his back. No. Second, you ask him some questions and he doesn't want to answer. Sorry, drop him off. Why? You're serving him because you want knowledge. You believe he has knowledge and you are wanting knowledge. Why? You want to be a Sotapanna in this life. You want to be a Sakadagami in this life. You want to be an Anagami in this life. You want to be an Arhat in this life. If that person says, this is not possible in this life, thank him sufficiently, great job, walk away. Not worth it, even spending 1 minute extra. No, time is precious. This life, you will never get it back. So don't waste even a moment. Just stay back, let it go. Why? It's of no use. Absolutely no. And if a monk were not to give Dhamma, not knowing how to teach a layperson, just does rituals, it's not even worth it. Not even worth. Why? It makes no sense. I'm not here just to go and give some flowers and food and for this one and that one and Bhante, please Bhante. Why? Why I should be like that? Have I done anything wrong by being born as a human? No. Being a human is the highest thing what you can get. So why waste? Don't do that. Wait, Abhi wanted to speak and I'll give you, yeah.
Just a brief observation I feel quite safe to talk about here, which I generally don't, about the monk and the robes. And my usual observation, especially in India, is most people are just playing dolls. They forget about being able to explain the suttas. They're just, stuck with the rites and rituals. And then that whole loop of, you come to me, come to me, and then then collecting funds, and I've seen them. They'll take video post and somebody's donating. It's the same thing. What Buddha was frustrated about, why he created Buddha Dhamma, was like, hey, you just got lost. You have no idea with what you're doing with the rites and ritual, and that's where this is. And I find most of the time, it's very rare for me to see somebody who's able to see clearly, but most of the time, the moment that rope comes in the body, somehow part of the psyche wants to believe that, yeah, now I'm on the right path. And so somehow the force in which we are driving somehow seems like it takes a backseat a little bit. Well, now I'm in the path full time. And so now, there is a little bit of taking it easy kind of an attitude. And slowly there is so much of avijja and subtle, in a subtle form. It's not very obvious, but if somebody is close to them and observe them closely through what they're speaking and observe how they share things, it's very obvious. There's so much of subtle ego, there's so much of superiority. And to me, it feels, because at some point I was considering getting a robe. I spoke to many Bhantes also, but at some point I started seeing this again and again. And in some cases, best case scenario is subtle. In most case scenario, at least in India, it's very obvious, very much in the face. They tell you, you know nothing, everything is dukkha, come to me and then I'll show you the path. And this is, and so I think one should be very, like, I'm just re-emphasizing what you're saying in a way that we really need to be very sincere and have discernment, practice discernment genuinely to be able to see, does it really making sense what Buddha taught? And Buddha should be superior than the monk or the teacher. Like
Exactly. Nobody can upbeat the Buddha. And now today what I find is everybody is thinking that I have become a Buddha. That is bullshit.
Yeah, some places they put Goenkaji before. So they will say, oh, you cannot read books from other tradition or this and that, but they want you to read book from Goenkaji's publication. What is it?
VRI.
And that is when I gave up. I'm like, it does not make any sense that you should read book from VRI and you cannot read or discuss about. Like, I thought somebody has to go really far here to even think like that. If my teacher, supreme teacher, is Buddha, then, and Goenkaji never said he was enlightened. In fact, he said at some point, even my teaching and tradition, this will become Vipassana Dhamma. Some people are religion. People will make it into a religion because they will not understand. And it is happening, and yet people can't see it. They are doing it, and they are the biggest defenders. They are in the highest authority. I feel same thing like the people who are going far and going low in dopamine and having an imbalanced life. In my observation, these people are in some way in that community, they're the role model. Like, people really look up to them. And because I have been very close to some of them, they are saying, you should just know what's really happening in my life. It's not the truth. Exactly like in entertainment industry.
Yes.
People all follow the stars, but you go to their life and you will never want to be anywhere close to that life that they're living. All the big stars, superstars, in some ways similar. And all the good practitioners I've seen, you will never see, you'll never have an idea. They just practice, and it's very hard to recognize what is really how their practice is.
Absolutely. I appreciate. Yes, are you? Sorry.
No,
Yeah, Amar.
in their defense, I have like, I agree with Avi what he said, but in their defense, what I said in the 10 days course is still, I would consider, like, for people who, hasn't done any meditation, that's the best you probably in today's world, you find that
I fully agree. I agree with your view. Somebody who's starting today, no idea.
Right.
VRI 10-day course, Goenka.
Yeah.
But that's it. Now come back to the teaching.
Especially in United States, right? This 10 days courses has really helped a lot of the people, and also I go serve every meta day, right? And I find especially newcomers, like, after done 10 days course, you find one or two people who really get it. That's
It's there. Absolutely there.
Yeah. And the Goenka is this 10-day, like, this course is amazing. That's what I got actually wisdom from personally, right?
No, it is there.
So
I don't deny.
Right. That part is like, I cannot. But definitely, I agree that there are people who are the 80s and those experienced meditators, they they lost it. Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, Eddie.
Uh, no, I guess I appreciate Abhi sharing a lot of the story and what you comment about the monks. I think Abhi said most of them are pretty lost in avijja in their own way, but I mean, still there are very few monks that are achieved. Even I think, as you said, some have even achieved Sagnagami or even beyond, right? But they're very, I guess, very hard to identify. But I guess like what you said, like sometimes by Vinaya or whatever their tradition, they could not announce that they obtained something. So maybe if you ask them straight, they couldn't say even if they want to. But I guess if they're the good ones, they may suggest in some way that give you confidence that you can get somewhere, right? Because they may not be able to say, oh, you can
Nowhere
get it.
in the Vinaya it says you should not declare. Nowhere in the Vinaya.
Monks, they have tradition that
They have
allowed.
tradition. That's a problem.
Yeah.
If you go by Vinaya, it doesn't say anywhere. In fact, in the Sutta itself, it says you can declare.
Yeah.
Right.
But if the tradition says you cannot say even if they want
That's
to,
the
they may not
problem.
be able to say.
I'm just saying to you, Ariu, that's a problem because you see here. Let's take you and me. Why are you with me, Ariu? Tell me one thing. For the last 6 years, you're with me. Why?
You can answer every question and help and solve problems. Whatever problem obstacle I have, you can solve them.
Not only that, you know that if you follow me, you can reach somewhere, or you think only this kind of helping you is what you are with me for.
Yeah, reaching somewhere.
Yes.
Of
If I
course.
say, Ariu, you don't have to know where I have reached, then what will you do? Every time I say to you, you ask me, Vilas, tell me where I have reached. I'll say, don't worry, don't bother, Ariu. You don't have to think about it. And I insult you that you should not know it. Right? That hard feeling, where it gets into Vyapada. The very hindrance which I am supposed to remove it, I am adding more hindrance to you. Right? And now I say, Ariu, even I don't know where I am. Should you follow me? You press me, and then I confide in you. You know what? Even I don't know where I am. Because my teacher didn't tell me where I am. What should I do? What should you do? The very next moment you should go away. Shouldn't waste even a moment more. You think life is eternal? It's short and it is what? It's precious. None of us can waste a single moment without achieving the highest. Simple. We are not doing any favor to anyone. We are doing favor to ourselves of coming out of suffering, of birth and death cycle. So if somebody says that you should not know, you should not worry, close hands and say, thank you very much, sir. Thanks for all the services rendered. Bye-bye. Why? Makes no sense. This is not a job. Yes, go ahead.
So I guess the good ones, they may not be able to declare based on their rules, but they would encourage, if you do this, you should reach this.
But that doesn't help you because you are following that person because you think he has reached. There are so many people who think this person, this monk has reached here. It's just an assumption. They're assuming it. They don't know. They're just thinking, oh, he has become an arhat or he has become an anagami. And that's their way of seeing. But has the monk declared it? Or is that person saying that, yes, I am? No. You're following someone, you don't know who he is. It makes nonsense of everything. Why? You look at many suttas, Buddha says this. A teacher is one who has walked on the path. Right? And he says, until the time I walked on the path, till the time I knew what I should be knowing, I discerned it, I never taught. In the same way, if I myself is not a Sotapanna, I should resign today and stop this YouTube channel because I am not giving right dhamma, right message to people. If I am not a Sakadagami, I should stop talking about Sakadagami. If I am not an Anagami, I should stop talking about Anagami. Why? How can I talk something which I myself have not seen it? I can only talk if I've seen it. As a follower of Buddha, I should stick to the 10, not having 10 immoral deeds. Now I can talk. I'm truthful. And if I'm truthful, what's wrong in declaring it? I'm not doing any favor to myself. I'm just saying, how did I reach there? It's like somebody reaching, let's take Auroville. Why can't I declare I reached Auroville? Why should I say, no, there's some 10 bushes. After one bush, you'll find another small bush. And between two bushes, you'll find another small bush. And then you'll find one outlet. Why? I can just say that's called Auroville. Yes, go ahead.
I guess it's a sad situation with the traditions that even people who are accomplished have to reserve. So it makes it harder to see. It's almost
No,
like
what I've understood interacting with monks, they don't declare to the lay people because they believe lay people can't get it. It's only restricted for monks. So they become a privileged class. Right? So if you're a monk, then you'll come to know. But for lay, you just have to serve them, right? They just come and stand and Bhante, please take it. You've seen how they stand so, withdrawn. Why? You've not done anything wrong being a lay follower. If no lay follower is there, will the monk community survive? They're making them so much rich. They are giving them donations. They're giving land. They're building things for them. Isn't it their duty to give the entire Dhamma from the Sutta and make them where they should be? Not 100% of them will be interested. Out of 100, 10 people will be interested. Out of 10, 5 people will pick it up. Out of that 5, 3 people will become Sotapanna. Do it. You can't dismiss. Say that your job is to only serve. Why? Who says so? Who says so? Why should I serve a monk? It's ridiculous. Yes, yes, Abhi.
So, of the many monks that I've spoken, I met one Thai monk in Bodh Gaya. And I was having this conversation around that phase when I'm contemplating that is it worth it? How does what life look like on the other side? And not directly because his English is not so good, but he was saying, oh, yeah, in India, I understand it's a little bit difficult for Buddhist monks. It's, overall Hinduism is more heavy. But in Thailand, if you choose to become a monk in my tradition, in Thai forest, I don't remember, I shouldn't say, but probably Thai forest, but I'm not sure. But look, he's showing me. He took out his iPhone. Imagine this is inside the compound where you're allowed to have phones. So just taking out a phone itself is a sign of privilege. So he takes out his phone and he has an iPhone, the latest model, and he's showing, look, so I constantly get donations from all these families. And, once in our tradition, basically, once you take the robes, you don't have to worry about money. There's always surplus of
Funds.
he's saying even the basic, even as a beginner, you're just become taken robes. You just have surplus of cash. And when you have, you have a little bit of knowledge and wisdom and you're sharing and basically you slowly build up your followership. And once you reach, and then he's showing, look, that family is coming tomorrow. Their son it's a rich family, business family, and they are going to come with their son for their son's birthday. They're going to make donations. That they're bringing 12 monks with them in the whole process, and then they're going to make donations here, contributions there. So imagine how much money they're spending. So then he's not saying directly that this is how it's going to happen, but indirectly saying this is how the ecosystem works. And so if you want to become a monk, it's not that hard, or life is not so difficult. You have constant supply of resources and things like that. And eventually, when my eyes opened there, then I observe other monks and I see they all use, especially in the Asian tradition, like Thailand, and there is so much. And I was just Nepal recently, and exactly what you're just saying, people come to the the monks, whoever just is wearing the robe, and I'm sitting doing a retreat. In the retreat, I know how much work that monk is doing because he's sitting in front of me. Most of the time, he's sleepy. He's not practicing. He comes for 1 or 2 hours out of 10 hours. The moment he steps out of the hall, I know also who is also working very hard, but the other person working hard has no, it's not recognized. Whereas just because he's wearing a robe, everybody comes and bows to him, and there is this psychological superiority inferiority dynamics which really corrupts the mind, and that's really unfortunate, but that's what has really happened now.
That's exactly the reason I withdrew myself from becoming a monk and became a monk inside. I remembered one great word of Intel inside, idiot outside. So I made monk inside, idiots outside. Okay, so I'm a monk, 100%. I'm a monk, but inside with this color robes. Nobody should know I'm a monk, but I'll do exactly as a monk. Exactly like that. No, not even single thing more or less. I'll stick to the Patimukha. I'll stick to it because I'm a monk. And then in Sri Lanka, when they told me, Vilas, this name is going to create problem to you. Why don't you put Anagarika? I felt that's the right word to use. Anyway, I've given up home. Isn't it the right thing to do? I was convinced, yes, I should put Anagarika. Agara means house. Anagara means homeless. I've given up home. In the truest sense, I've done that. I'm a monk from 2018. I'm a monk. And I stick to it today. But with this dress, I don't care. People give me donations. Monks also get donations. But I'm earning myself. That's the best part. People may or may not give donations. But I earn my living. Number two, when I want to donate, I donate. I don't seek donation. I donate. It's the best thing I can do. Okay. So when Aryu was donating so many things, I told him that I will donate. And we had a lot of discussions. What is donation? What is virtuous donation? Should I take? Shouldn't I take? We have had a lot of discussions, me and Aryu. So what should be done? What shouldn't be done? What should I take? What shouldn't take? I told him, nothing personal. This laptop to everything what is given is on Dhamma. I have my own personal laptop. I don't use any personal things, especially only on Dhamma. I use this laptop. I have my personal laptop. I use that. It's only purely Dhamma related. That's it. It's just like you have an office laptop you use for office. You have a personal laptop, use it for whatever you want. Nobody asks you. But don't use office laptop for this. Straight. I'm keeping exactly that life. And anybody can come home and inspect whatever I'm saying is false or true. They can audit. Now I'm following 100% Buddha Dhamma to the dot. Otherwise, it's bullshit. I can keep on talking nice things and get good donations and enjoy my life. What's stupid? I should be giving Dhamma without expecting anything in return, because Dhamma, is law of nature. What will you charge a law of nature? Should be ashamed of asking something. It's the worst thing you can do, or worst thing I can do. And why should I create a stupa and this and that and kuti and blah blah, all of that? For what? Makes no sense. It's fleecing. It's you just fleece the person just in a hope that he's going to get something. And the amount of flight tickets they take care and all of that to bring monks from Bangkok or from Burma or from here, there. I don't know, people have gone mad. And what do they get in return? What did they learn in return? There should be return on investment. I'm investing on a person. I should get something in return. It's not about being selfish or not being selfish. I'm serving a lay or a monk because I believe he is giving Dhamma. He should give me Dhamma. Simple. It's a transaction. It's absolutely a transaction. So what is the best transaction? To remove the person from suffering is the best ever transaction. Shouldn't I do that? See, Amar is coming all the way from Dallas. Shouldn't I serve him with Dhamma? Or should I take whatever he gives me and say that, oh, Amarji, you're so good, because he's bringing goodies. Obviously, I'm going to make him the best person. That's hopeless. I should be ready to serve him. Whatever I can give, let me give him. That makes sense. And with Ariu. Otherwise, what happens? It's loan. I've taken loan from someone. I have to now suffer the consequence of that loan because he's believing that I am so and so. And he's donating. But am I not being treacherous in this? Have I not deceived him? Deceived his faith? That's wrong. So if we see both ends, Udaya Attangama, that's the eye-opener. I'm stuck on Asada as a monk or as a lay. I'm not seeing the danger. I see the danger. Then I get into the third one, Nissarana. Escape. Anyway, we will do that after my return from lay.